Hi, Armand here, half in shadow and half in darkness, much like this coming week. All right, maybe. So, this coming week's energy is one of the last phase of the lunar cycle, typically a time of, things being a little bit more mellow, or at least the energy not quite being there. It's a time of assessment, it's a time of sort of considering things for the future. Not a great time for initiating action on most things. The exception to that would be if you want to get rid of something, or I suppose someone. If you want to bring something to an end, this is a good energy. So if you want to quit a job, if you want to, if you want, if you want to give your New Year's resolutions a second shot and see if you can cut back on whatever your indulgences are, this is probably a pretty good time to cut back on things like that. If you want to, work on eating healthier or just less or something like that, this is a good week for that. There's some kind of mixed energy. Actually, Monday would be a very good time to get started with that, as the moon is in Scorpio, kind of easy aspects, just a little past the last quarter moon exactly. It's a good time for sort of releasing things. Now, as we get to midweek, a little bit more upbeat energy comes in. The sort of severity that we might have felt on Sunday and Monday kind of morphs into a little more upbeat thing through most of Thursday, actually, thanks to the Sagittarius moon. Midweek has got a good kind of feeling for doing stuff. It's not exactly energetic, but it's not exactly dead either. So that should be pretty good. It's a pretty good time for doing a lot of things. A little midweek socializing seems to be indicated. And then that shifts again as we get towards the weekend. And when the moon goes into Capricorn late on Thursday, and we have a Mars-Pluto square that's very active on Friday, and will be kept heated up. See, it's going to be kept heated through Saturday by lunar aspects. So at this point in time, we're looking at, a serious, work-oriented Capricorn moon, the struggle between Mars in Aries and Pluto in Capricorn. This could be a time of things being rather severe. Now, if you're going to end something, and you're going to do it on Friday or Saturday, whether it's work-related, relationship-related, whatever it is, if you decide, okay, this is it, I've had enough, I'm bringing things to an end, and that sounds a little Mars-Pluto, you be careful about that, or just, don't be careful, but be sure, because it's not the sort of thing that is going to be easy to undo. When you pull the plug on something, when you burn the bridges, Mars in Aries square Pluto in Capricorn, burning bridges. When you burn the bridges, you're going to burn them good this time. So, if you're sure, go ahead. If not, be a little bit more careful. Later on the weekend, I feel that as we get closer and closer to the new moon on Monday, Sunday has probably got, even Saturday night has got a little bit of a feel of kind of like sort of looking more towards the future even than the present. Now, with all of this severe energy happening Friday, Saturday, you might think, boy, that's not going to be any fun at all. Moon waning, tough aspects, moon in Capricorn. Doesn't seem like it's going to be great. The thing is, though, Venus is going to be at the very last degrees of Sagittarius. Venus is going to be at the very last degrees of Sagittarius, and with that happening, it does kind of infuse a sort of party atmosphere. It does sort of make you, want to go out and do stuff. Probably strongest right around midweek, I gotta say. If you can get out on Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday nights, that could be the better choice. But that energy is going to carry through, and I think when we get to the weekend, Friday and Saturday particularly, it's a matter of which one of these waves happens to catch you. It probably has a lot to do with what's going on in your individual chart. But you could be in the midst of some very severe work-oriented struggles, power struggles, and things like that. You could really feel the world sort of pushing in on you and the need to push back. Or if the other energy catches you, you could be kind of like, well, let's go have some fun. Venus will, of course, be squaring, I shouldn't say of course, but Venus will be squaring Chiron on her way out of Sagittarius, and Chiron at the end of Pisces. Well, that could make for some, looking back at times of looking back at the past as well as the future when it comes to things like relationship and maybe also finances. That might be another thing that's rather hot this week. We might have a lot of things around finances that we're curious about. Last thing to mention is that on Thursday, the aspect of the year, I'm just calling it the aspect of the year, Saturn sextile Neptune comes exact for the first time. This is a big topic, and I'm going to address it in a completely different video on Wednesday or so. But it is a big aspect that has a lot to do with what's going on in the collective. So we will catch up with you in midweek for that story, and hope you have a good week.